Welcome back to part 2 of this week's YAWA.
I'm Kat, the dog trainer.
The guy with the pink gun. And if this is your first time to the channel, and this is your first time watching our stuff, hopefully this is a good enough one to keep you focused on more videos.
So subscribe.
Yeah, hit the subscribe button down there, guys. We really appreciate that. Now, everybody always wants to know, I am sipping on the Jefferson Ocean Aged at Sea Voyage 17.
And I am sipping on this Abeja Red Blend. Both of these are being sipped out of a Glencairn Gulch Distilleries glass. I know it's wine, but hey, these are cool glasses. And we just got them from a great friend and client now because everybody that comes out and picks up a puppy is now family. So Chris was able to bring us some libations in these cool little glasses. So we wanted to say thank you, and we are going to enjoy them.
Absolutely.
During YAWA.
Let's get started with some questions.
These are some good ones. And I'm going to try and keep a little bit of a theme going for you as much as I can.
I like themes.
So first question from Incognito on Instagram. Hopefully I said that right. Must have products for training. This is a great question.
Okay, so I'm gonna break this one down real easy. Like, you go to standingstonekennels.com/store, click buy one of all, give me the lot, and you will have everything you need.
But in all seriousness, you don't need to quite go to that extreme. But things that I would definitely say are good things to have, kind of starting from the puppy basics on, is a clicker. We all recommend starting with clicker training the minute you get your new puppy. Even if you have an older dog that hasn't had any of this training, definitely you can clicker train them. So getting a clicker, getting some training treats to work through that with, using their meals, their kibble for training as well is also a really good option. If your puppy's a little more picky and not as food motivated, a higher value treat can be very beneficial.
Yep, some kind of training specific treats usually have a really good flavor, and they're small and soft, and
we also have both of those things on our website. So I know that it's going to sound like
a
broken record.
No, we have a majority of the things on our online store. So you can go to one place and find everything. And we're continuously adding to that to make it easier. We get a recommendation. If we have something to recommend to you, we're trying to get it there so that you can go to one place and find it.
Yeah, because all of the things that are on our website are things that we use and recommend and test and work with. So it's not like, oh yeah, just go Google it and see if you can find something that might work. So
training bumpers are probably going to be a good idea.
Yes, and if you got a puppy, a smaller puppy-sized one so that they can get their mouth on it and pick it up and not just grabbing it by the string. So if you get a smaller sized puppy bumper, that's going to be really helpful.
We have DT Systems makes it. It's called a winged flyer, and those winged flyers have a little more movement and then black and white change, and that contrast really pulls the dog's attention and gets their focus visually to see, that's something to go chase and catch.
Yeah, because these dogs, they're prey-driven animals, so that really kicks that prey drive into high gear. So we really like the puppy flyers. And then if you haven't started...
Eventually an e-collar.
That's what I was... You read my mind. I said if you haven't picked up an e-collar yet or started collar conditioning, you could maybe pick up a check cord so that you're working on retrieves and working on some recall in the yard, things like that. You have attachment to that puppy.
Yes, and we have check cords on our website. You see where I'm going with this. But they're made out of a different material than you're going to find pretty much anywhere else, and it's a lot easier on your hands. It holds up better. It stays clean, dry, doesn't get tangled. All of those wonderful things. So
same material as our Easy Leads are made out of.
Yeah, and that'd be another one. Just a standard leash and our Easy Lead specifically is a multi-step process that gives you a head halter, then a slip lead, then just a standard 4.5 or standard 6-foot clip leash. Mm-hmm. All stainless material, lifetime warranted. We don't really warranty them if your dog chews them in half. They are not chew-proof, folks, but...
Your dog's not going to pull against it and break it. That's for sure.
It ain't going to happen. Mm-mm.
And then we utilize place training a ton in training with our dogs.
Yes.
So
it's a very, 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 add a couple more berries for me.
Very, very, very.
Very, very, very important tool.
Because we can utilize place training for many things. We've got a video out on why place training is so important and how to calm down your dog.
And then as well as the three steps.
That's
right?
what I was getting at.
Yeah, say it.
Oh, I'll say it then. So you want to be able to work through distance where you can send your dog to a dog bed from a distance. Then you want to be able to have duration where they can stay on that dog bed for longer, and then through distraction so that they can stay there when lots of activities and things are going on. And all those things are going to ultimately have a calming effect on your dog where they can settle down, be a part of the family, and not get into everything. And that can super well transition to hunting with a dog out of a blind as well. So we love Coranda's dog beds. They're these raised platform beds. They're on our website as well.
Super durable.
They're very durable, as well as they create a distinct boundary from being on a bed, off a bed. The dogs love them. They have slip covers. They've got bolster beds, so they can be really comfy, as well as they're super easy to clean and wipe down.
100%. The problem with those standard pillows that you see at wherever you're going to go buy a dog bed is they usually come down to pinched corners, so that they act as if like your regular pillow for your head. They come to those pinched corners, and it makes it easier for the dog to kind of go, well, I'm now on the carpet, which feels close enough to the bed. But like Kat said, those raised platforms, it's a very distinct difference between the bed and the ground.
Not the bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm on the bed, I'm off the bed.
Yep. So a type of dog bed would also be very helpful. Then when you start getting into more field stuff and bird work, having a bird bag is nice so that when you're out in the field, you've got your birds and you've got someplace to keep them instead of putting it in your pocket or I don't even know what. So I don't even know if we actually have anything on our website.
We don't. We kind of been working on that for a little while. The problem is we use multiple different brands of them, so I'm not really married to anything as far as this is the best option. They kind of all work, but I don't have one yet that we can.
Yeah. If you're looking, though, I like Field Kings. They
Field
hold
King's
up
made
pretty
by
well.
Gun Dogs Unlimited. You can find that gundogsunlimited.com on there, and it's their private brand, if you will, is Field King stuff.
But it seems to be a little more durable. We're really tough on all of our equipment, so durability, toughness, things that are going to last are really important to us. So
Not to dog on anybody, but the Lion Country Supply ones are not quite as good there.
For us, we replace them way too frequently for them to be as.
But the gundogsupply.com ones are pretty good too. So
bird bag, and then I would also say you probably we really like using launchers because it can make timing so perfect, and timing is the number one most important thing of dog training. If you disagree with me and you think there is something more important,
I'd like to hear what you think it is.
When it comes to dog training, I want to know. Put it in the comments. I'm open to
I will
hearing
keyboard
your
warrior
opinion.
back at you. I will keyboard warrior back at you but I want to hear realistically what you think is more important than timing and why you think that. If you so do. If not, just throw a like in there and a quick comment that says, yeah, timing rocks. Woo.
But so bird launchers make that timing and training really nice when it comes to your puppy basic stuff, because you don't have to be able to actually get all the way in front of your puppy to flush the bird. You don't have to hold your puppy back with a check cord.
That's an important thing to say and to touch on. People say, well, why don't you just train with a check cord? And then you don't have to worry about it. Well, at that point, we're no longer developing a dog's natural ability to point. We're developing a dog's ability to understand restraint.
It's the same thing, though, if you're trying to teach a dog to sit and they won't sit, but you constantly push their butt to the ground, push their butt to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
They're not actually learning the sit behavior. They're just learning you push your hand on their butt and their butt hits the ground, and that must be the sit behavior. So
the bird launchers we're using are, again, made by DT Systems. They are available on our website. And if you send us private messages, sometimes we have good deals on used equipment. A lot of times we'll notate those there. We don't currently have any, but don't hesitate to reach out and see if we've got something. Maybe we can make you a deal.
We really like the 509 series because it's a little bit smaller, so you can use it for pigeons, chukar, and quail really easily. Not going to be big enough for a pheasant, but we don't do a ton of launcher work with pheasants. But the nice thing about the launchers,
the pheasants, you're probably better off just setting or
using a cone,
utilizing a cone. And that's not something we've created a video on, but I think we'll probably do it because we've been needing.
We've talked about it for a while.
So put it in the docket.
I know.
Producer?
Put it on the list. Exactly.
Add that to my
if we had a producer.
Books.
So bird launchers, though, I wanted to mention, people are always saying, well, they're so expensive. Well, they are an expense. However, being able to utilize proper timing, and then you're not sending your dog to a professional trainer, so you're saving money there. And you can't skimp when it comes to training your dog, or you're going to get not a well-trained dog. So the other side of it is you can continue to utilize those bird launchers through advanced training as well. So if your ultimate goal is to run your puppy through maybe the natural ability test or get them prepped for hunting season, and then you're maybe interested in working through some steadiness stuff, senior hunter, master hunter, UPT, utility, you can always...
Even through the invitational, you can utilize them to help with
backing and, well, you can use it for backing drills as well as you can use it for marks for the blind. Oh, the launchers can have a ton of uses. So they are an investment, but they're a very multi-purpose training tool that can go through the life of your dog.
Then you can start renting them out to people. I mean,
right.
The opportunities are endless, folks.
Endless. So we talked about a bird launcher. I would recommend a minimum of 2.
Yeah.
3 is like this magic number. I don't know what it is about 3s, but 3s really
Don't get 4, don't get 5. I had 6 one time, and it's just too dang many.
So we just
launchers.
split it up and bought another transmitter and had 2, 3 system units for a while, but we only use 1 right now. So those would be like my go-to training products, as well as a crate. I don't think I mentioned that. But when you get a puppy, you're going to probably want a smaller crate.
Yep.
You can get something maybe a little less expensive because our puppies are growing out of that small-sized crate between 12 and 16 weeks usually.
Yeah.
Then we're moving on to like a medium, intermediate-sized crate. And there's a couple great options. Lucky Duck has a really nice, very safe crate that you can use for traveling in the back of your vehicle. It locks. It's got a 5-star crash rating. So it's typically a little bit bigger than we start our puppies out on because we're working on potty training and crate training, and we want them to build on success.
It's like halfway between an intermediate and a large.
Yeah.
So pretty much any dog at or under 60 pounds, it's going to be a great size finished crate for. Any dog that's kind of around that 60 pounds or bigger, you're going to need their next size, which they are coming out with, I believe, by the end of the year, maybe is what I heard.
Coming soon to
a
website near you.
Website near you, yep.
But that would be another option, is to wait for that larger size. But definitely a crate. We recommend crate training, and keeping your dog in a crate when you're traveling for their safety as well as your safety is really important.
Watch our video. It's called 24 Hours a Day in the Life of a Puppy. And we take little Thunderbutt when he was a little teeny tiny tyke and said, this is what we're doing every day. Filmed everything. First thing in the morning, we get up, we start pretty early most days, and got up, let him out. He went back in his crate while we started working. Then he progressed through the day with his training session and his crate time. And then we went out to dinner. We happened to go out to dinner that evening. So he spent some time in his crate there, but we had some playtime intermixed in that and showed how we kind of keep track of the potty breaks while he's out, and then the time that he spends in his crate, and then also how we work through his whining and crying and, you know, those aspect of things. It's pretty normal for dogs to want to be part of things, want to be with you, want to be around you. They're pack animals. They like to be with the pack, but they have to understand that that's not 100% of how life's going to be for them. So it's better for them in the long run to be able to be feeling comfortable alone. So definitely check that video out. It's only, it's been within the last few weeks here. So
we
you
have a
shouldn't have to
playlist
scroll
on
very
Thunder
far.
stuff. So
Thunder's playlist has started.
Thunder's playlist has started. So you can find it in a playlist, which makes it easier.
YouTube playlists.
Yes.
Us.
So I would say that is probably the majority of training tools and products that we recommend for most training. Anything else you can think of? I think that's a really good list to start out with. There's lots of other extras that you can get, from whistles to platforms to dog blinds to bumper launchers to, did I say whistles?
You said whistles.
I said
I have a
whistles, to
whistle.
flags, to bird belts, to bird crates, to all the things. But I wouldn't say those are all must-haves, but definitely the ones that we talked about are what I would consider my
They kind of
must-haves.
fall into the must-have. Yeah, what you talked about. There's a lot of optionals.
There's
a lot of
optionals, yeah.
But
And then that kind of segues into our next question from Just N Red from Instagram. What e-collars do you use and why? So
we use and recommend DT Systems. Insert sponsorship bumper here.
Yes. And we use them because they are very durable and tough. We need collars that are going to last, like I talked about before with our products. We are hard on training equipment, and so we need something that's going to last, it's going to hold up, it's going to be consistent because, timing is really important. So we use DT System stuff. I love the fact that they have a vibrate feature on all of the collars that we're using.
You would like that vibrate feature.
As well as, now I'm flustered, I really like the range that those collars get. They're very consistent. They have an antenna that runs through the collar strap, so it gets longer range on their systems as well as more consistent range. And they're really simple to use. The buttons are very well labeled. You don't have to rotate a dial to get from one feature to the next feature. So you've got a button for vibrate, a button for continuous, and a button for Nix. And that is on all of their collars, the RAP 1400, the RAP 1450, the 1820, the H2O 1820, and the MR 1100 for sure. All of those buttons coincide with one specific feature, and then they've got different levels of stimulation. And
you go up to their top tier collar, which is their SPT series, their Super Pro Trainer.
And again, all the buttons are separate.
Yep, all the buttons. Now, the other side of it, I made a little comment about the sponsor aspect of things, right? But the cool thing about this company is that they are a small family-run company, and they've been with us for nearly a decade now and believed in us when we were small, believed in us through this whole thing, and now are happy and willing to support what we're doing, which is a big part of why we are still with them. They have a great product, they're a great company, and a great group of people. In the grand scheme of things, if you like small businesses and supporting smaller businesses, that's them. Tritronics would have been the second oldest e-collar company that was still in the books, and they got bought up by a giant company, Garmin, right? So folks that are still in the business.
I was going to say, every time I call into DT Systems for customer service, to place an order for a question, I beep, 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 beep. I push 0 to get through to whoever. Alicia always answers. And I'm like, oh, hi, Alicia. And I don't even say who I am. I just say, oh, hi, Alicia. And she says, oh, well, hi, Kat. How are you doing? In her sweet Southern voice. And it's awesome to feel like we matter to them as well, not just, oh, we're another number on the books.
Absolutely.
So good question. We definitely have all of those e-collars that we recommend on our website. And I'm in the process of putting together a flow chart to help pick your e-collar. So what features are most important to you, multi-dog, beeper units, things like that to follow through. If you pick yes, you go this way. If you pick no, you go this way. And then it'll ultimately help you pick directly which collar is going to be the best option for you. So
absolutely.
Next question, which is also a training question, I think probably the last one that we have time for in part 2, is from Andrew Hotzman on Instagram. What would be the minimum length table for the trained retrieve?
I'm going to go with 16 foot would be the minimum length table on the trained retrieve aspect of things.
Okay, so that is the length of table that we are using. Now,
okay, so I did a lot of dogs on an 8-foot table. You take a sheet of plywood, cut the sucker in half, and you have a 8-foot by 24 inches wide table.
That would be 8 by 2 feet, just for you guys with the math problems.
Yep. So, but the problem with it is you don't get to gain momentum. Now, I do 100% understand. I have one dog. What am I doing? I'm going to create this giant table monstrosity thing for the sake of one dog, and it's going to be used for a month, and then what do I do with it? Well,
probably more than a month, but I get your gist.
1 to 2 months. It's going to be used forever.
Correct.
Yep. So there's a lot of different options out there, as well as, kind of makeshifting a workbench or something along those lines can be a good option, or build the table, tear the table down, use the lumber for something else. But if you can splurge on making that 16-foot table.
Which would be taking a sheet of plywood, cutting it in half, and using both halves to make a 16 by 2 foot table. The math, I'm just helping you out there.
Yes.
And the reason that we like a longer table is because, like Ethan said, we really like to build momentum. And the process of the trained retrieve, dogs can start to freeze and get sticky and not move. And movement is really important with this process.
Absolutely
You get a dog that wants to freeze, you need to get them moving. Well, if they can only take 1 or 2 steps and then they're at the end of the table, well, our momentum just went out the window. And
that's the way it was on that 8-foot table. That's what we had to do. It was like we did 1 rep this way, we turned around, we did 1 rep this way, we turned around, we did 1 rep this way. And on the 16-foot table, you can do rep, 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 turn around. And some dogs get weird about the turnaround. Even you have to come back to this end and start over again in the beginning stages. There's a lot of tips and tricks to this. Pretty much every dog that I have done over the years has been different. And
that would be one other caveat I would put in for the trained retrieve process is it is the biggest learning curve with anything that we are working on for advanced stuff because dogs respond completely differently. It's hard to get 2 dogs to react the same way through the entire process. So
the general idea and steps that you're going through are similar, but the dog's responses are all different. Now, all of that being said, we still have just a couple spots open for our seminar. This would be short notice for y'all watching this, but it is this coming weekend.
July
which is, give me some
18th
dates.
and 19th. Yes.
July 18th and 19th, 2020, for all you that watch this down the road. We have a few spots left, and we're going to go through step by step as well as help you with your dog or help wherever
Answer your
you're
questions. If you don't have a dog, but you just want to learn a little more about the process,
Yep.
definitely you can come without a dog and follow along with that process.
But we're going to be going through all of it this weekend. It's a 2-day seminar. It's going to be absolutely fantastic learning experience if formal retrieving work is important to you.
As well as we have one of those training video series that we talked about earlier about one of our early series that's real good.
Yeah, check it out. I'm supporting some long hair and some even longer sideburns there.
And very soon, we will be putting out a new and improved and just updated trained retrieve series. Once we are fully into the new building, we'll be able to do that in there where we don't have a bunch of dogs watching in their kennels and crates from a distraction standpoint. And then we'll be putting up an entire new trained retrieve series, but that will probably be a month plus from now. So
that is all we've got, guys, for part 2 this week. Thanks for watching, and we will see you after a short break. Goodbye.